Hi, I'm new here. I don't know what to do with my hands. Wanted to talk about something. Wanted to talk about something that I feel really matters, and I think it's something that a lot of other I'm not a content creator yet 'cause I'm trash, but other content creators talk about often. Um, it's Diablo 4. I'm sure everyone's tired of talking about it. I wanna voice my opinion. I have one. I want to bring it up. So let's look at Diablo 4 real quick, right? I have this. So we have Diablo 4 skill tree. And first glance you're like, wow, that's a lot of skills. But it's really not. It's not a lot of skills. So when you look at it, right now we're looking at a barbarian. If me and you both picked barbarian, our barbarian's not gonna vary by a lot. The biggest variant is gonna be kind of what we do here, right? Oh, I'm a whirlwind barbarian, or oh, I'm a hammer of ancients barbarian. But they kind of do the same thing. And I could say the same if we look at like necromancer. It could be, oh, I throw bone spears, or oh, I throw blood spears. Most of the time you have corpse explosion, right? There's not a lot to this. And lately, Diablo 4 has sucked. They came out and they announced their ladder, their thing for season 3. It was the season of the ladder. Everyone's going to be excited and ready. Season 3 drops. It's not there. And I know a lot of content creators that are upset because they wanted to race. I mean, that's their job, is create content off this game. And what's a better time than when it's the start of a season, everyone's brand new. Everyone's heard this line, right? So then down the road we get uh, like a one-off interview. I don't even know what to call it. And they drop, oh yeah, it's gonna be on the 13th. Great, everyone's happy, right? The very next day, they go, oh, actually, my bad. We can't. It's not going to happen this season. It's going to be next season. So, all that prep, all the excitement, and even them saying, hey, here's a hard day that you guys are getting it, and they just like drop it. Doesn't matter anymore. And I don't think that's okay. And the reason I don't think it's okay is because here it is the 14th, the day after we were supposed to get the ladder, and they drop a new $70 horse mount. What? And I know people are, oh, it's not just a horse mount. You get in game currency so I can buy other cosmetics. Great. That's still $70. And the whole advertisement is for this diamond horse. And that shows me that their development team isn't focused on the content that the community wants, the content that we want, because we're the community. They don't care that we want endgame. They don't care that we want a ladder. They don't care that we want, something to actually make us play the game. They're gonna instead focus their attention on creating a $70 diamond horse, and they're gonna sell that. And you know what's sad? There's people out there who are gonna buy it, and they're gonna use the excuse, well, I want the currency. I want to buy other stuff in the shop. And that's great. I think in-game cosmetics are great if you do it right. If you have your base game where it needs to be. In my opinion, Diablo 4 shouldn't even have a shop yet. They should be making sure that people are in their game to stay, and then they should go, and by the way, while you're here, you want to look cool, but they aren't doing that. So back to the skill tree. As I mentioned, it seems like a lot, but it's incredibly bare bones. So even if you look at like individual skills, they don't make a ton of difference. It's not like visually appealing to do the different types of blight here. It's still blight. It still looks the same. The only skill I can think of off rip that changes how it looks is corpse explosion. Because if you go the blight path, it's a blight pool, and if you don't, it's an explosion. But otherwise, skills don't change visually. So we could both be doing Blood Lance. I could be this, you could be this. It's still just Blood Lance. All the differences is numbers in the background. And we can see the number differences. I mean, we have, meta builds that one-shot bosses, and that feels good. Arguably, it does. It feels great. That's why I play these games, right? But this is just so bare bones because this, and then we compare it to Titan Quest, right? In Titan Quest, you have all these classes that you can combine with themselves, and like, what are the chances that me and you are going to be the exact same thing? And even if we are, there's different skill paths we can take if we so happen to line up the same two skill charts, right? And we can even move off Titan Quest. Grim Dawn, same concept, right? We can both pick Shaman, but let's say you focus on Shaman with the Devouring Swarm path, right? Or rather, you know what? Let me pick a class I know better. I know Necromancer better. You focus minions. You're a heavy minion main, right? You got your minions. You're getting your golem. Um, and I could also be Necromancer, but instead of that, I'm doing Bone Harvest or I'm doing Drain Essence. And I'm focusing on the magic half of it versus the minion half. And while that's not a whole lot in option wise, you're like, oh yeah, but Dustin, didn't you say there's only a couple options in Diablo? Yeah, but on top of this, I can add another class to it. So now I have another set of skills that I can add to it. And it doesn't really, it branches out, right? Because again, we could both be a Nightblade with necromancy background, but maybe I'm focusing on just getting these down here for added defense, and maybe you're up here, I want to dual wield, and I don't. I'm great sorting. So it adds a variety to the game that we don't get in Diablo. Because in Diablo, I can only use certain weapons with each character. I can't vary it up. I can't go, oh, I decided I want to use a bow on my necromancer. That's not a thing. So moving off of that, Last Epoch. This game, it comes out this month, and it's in early access, and it's killing it. I just played it all day yesterday, and it was fun. Just to dive into this for a second, let's say we both pick Void Knight, and we both decide I want to focus on the hammer skill. That hammer skill makes me feel like Thor. I love it. I love feeling like Thor. That shit's great. If you pull it up, there's different paths. Wow, look at that. We can both be the same class. We can both be the same skill even, and have it not be the same. I can throw my hammer out, and with this, I can have it orbit around me. So now I'm just running through mobs with hammers flying around me, killing everything. And you can go, you know what? That's great, but I don't want them to orbit around me. I want to throw one hammer, and I want that hammer to fucking slap. I want it to punch someone in the face. You can do that. So then I'm running hammers orbiting around me, you're running a single hammer throwing, and there's even more options. And this is for every single skill. If Diablo 4 rolled out something like Last Epoch has, and it was like, hey, yeah, you can do Bone Spear, but how about you shoot one Bone Spear, or you shoot 6 Bone Spears, or maybe instead of shooting a Bone Spear, something. I don't know. I'm not a game developer. It's not my job to come up with ideas for them. Point being, we have these games that aren't forcing these giant microtransactions at us that give us a lot. And I know the go-to for everyone is Path of Exile, right? Oh, Path of Exile is better than Diablo. It is. And the reason it is I can go into Path of Exile and I can pick like Meteor. I don't know the name of the skill, but like I summon a meteor from the sky. And it looks visually cool. It hits solid. It makes me feel good. Okay, I want to do a little more with it. I can put Cascade on it. So now instead of one meteor, I'm summoning 6 meteors. And if I want to go a little further, I can add Raging Spirit to it. So after summoning my 6 meteors, any enemy I kill becomes a Raging Spirit. Now they're attacking for me. And there's just so much depth where you can go and you can add things. And again, I'm going to go back to the thing that people say all the time. Yeah, but Diablo's made for the casual player. And if I'm, a father and I'm working 9 to 5 and I pick up the kids and put them in bed around 10 and I got to go to bed at like midnight. Well, having this simplified skill tree is great for sure. I mean, you don't have to think about it. It's brain dead choices, honestly. And I'm sure what's in the game content wise is good. It's not there for longevity though, right? I mean, I have 200 hours in Path of Exiles, I haven't seen Endgame in that game. I don't think I've cleared Chapter 5. I just keep re-rolling characters so I want to try something different. I could say the exact same thing about Grim Dawn. I've never seen Endgame because I just, oh, you know what? I'm playing this, but now I want to try this. It's just, it's wild to me that the game that is supposed to be the ARPG can't even get their own game right. And that's so wild because all of these games take inspiration from Diablo, in my opinion. I mean, it's wild. And you can't say, well, Blizzard's new to this, guys. They don't know what they're doing. Blizzard has, they're the forerunner. And then you can look at WoW. WoW has skill trees. We can both be a holy paladin and be completely different holy paladins with different skills. And it's the same way for every class. Oh, I'm going to be a warlock. Well, let's say we're both affliction warlocks. There's different paths for us to have different skills and be different affliction warlocks. You can make differences that matter, and you've shown it, Blizzard. Tell me why the Diablo 4 skill tree, if we were to change things around and rearrange them, looks exactly like the Diablo 2 skill tree to me. It's the same fucking choices, right? It's the same basic shit. I don't see a difference in these. And that would be okay, because Diablo 2 is people's favorite, right? Game's amazing. But Diablo 4 doesn't have the heart Diablo 2 had, and doesn't have the creativity that any of its competitors are willing to offer. So, with the $70 amount dropping, I've completely decided I'm done. I'm not giving Diablo my attention anymore. This is my swan song of it. I uninstalled it today. I have well over 100 hours just trying to get all the achievements, which is impossible because no one goes in the PvP zones to PvP. Um, I'm done. I'm just done with it. And that was my 2 cents. It's a little ranty, I know. It's my first video ever like this. I appreciate you for stopping in, and hopefully it was a good video, and I hope that you walked away with something. So yeah, thanks.